sustaining supporter of New Church Live today.
Morning, friends. Pastor Chuck Blair. Sorry for the little delay there. We're having a few technical challenges on my end of things, but here we are. Great to have you joining me today. And today we're talking about is how much of spirituality gets to this place where it's ineffable, where there aren't really words for it, and that's one that's a pretty consistent struggle as with theology per se. And I was thinking, talking with my sister this morning. And we were commenting about how much, it is in her life where she'll like see something like a bald eagle out there flying, and all of a sudden she has this big spiritual this big spiritual moment. And I think that really is true. That is really what happens is we have these moments, we see these moments, they become very powerful in our lives. But they're always a bit beyond language. And so that's what I want to read for. I want to read for a passage talking about this. And it's talking about in the context that we have different perspectives. We have different ways of seeing the world. And if we choose the spiritual way, this is what it will look like. They kindle, meaning good people, they kindle the goodness there with heavenly pasture to explain to people what the value. We get the black box right, so is the right. A lot of the time, we open to this life of God, and not exactly. The bush is aflame with the glory of God. Pick black life as we starts to become are known by their joy, and it's easy to sort of downplay that and think, wasn't that light or something? No, it's actually to have joy in our life, and a life that has so much trial and tribulation to it is clearly a counter, a new way of seeing things, a different way to approach the world, a different way to see what's out there, and a more accurate way. Ready for that? A more accurate way to see what's out there. So friends, the takeaway for today is really straightforward. Like, be open to the things that surprise. Be open to that celebratory consciousness where we just look out at the world and all of a sudden it's just like, wow, this is ineffable. This is totally ineffable. And it's very much the counter to the way we tend to see the world. And if you want the sense of what not to do, the sacred no to all this, well, I think cynicism is the opposite of that. And one of the great quotes I read about cynicism years and years ago was that the problem with the cynic is they believe that's the only possible way to describe the world. So a real cynical view sort of burrows down to this real serious, like it's the only way to look at it. A spiritual world view is much more wide open, much more about the ineffable, much more about the surprise, much more about the sense of awe, much more about those things that we can never really put words to. And we need to lean towards that because, boy, does that recharge our batteries. It doesn't, and in a weird way, it doesn't detach us sort of like a floating balloon. It actually engages us in the world because there's so much less of us as in our ego and all that. We really can connect with other people in pretty amazing ways. So that's what I'm throwing out there, friends. So may you have a day of that curiosity, of that surprise, and enjoy it thoroughly. Enjoy it thoroughly. So with that, dear friends, what we're going to do is we're going to shift gears. And we're going to shift gears here at New Church Live in a way that we always do. We're going to do a little prayer, a little blessing, and then we'll say hi to folks on social media. So we'll start out with a little meditation. So let's all get a little breath. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and. Be still. Be. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you, bring you peace, and bring you home. Amen. All right, dear friends, let's do a little quick peek here on Facebook, see if anybody has left any comments. Let me slide over here so I can... Linda, thank you for that. Okay, and a little look. Seems like we had another streaming problem there. So my apologies, folks. So, yep, we'll get it figured out. Take care. Bye-bye.